What's up, everybody? This is Sam Shady with Shady Sports Network. And today, I just wanted to ask you for a huge favor. We're growing very quickly thanks to all your guys' help, but I've got a little request for you guys, and all that is to hit that like button. So basically, the way the YouTube algorithm works is if they don't see an asinine amount of likes on each video, we will not grow. We will not be pushed out to new viewers. So without your help hitting that like button, subscribing, clicking those notifications, making sure you hit like on all these videos, we can't grow as quickly as we'd like to. So with that being said, please help support Shady Sports Network today by hitting that like button. It's completely free, doesn't cost you a thing, and in turn, it helps us continue creating great content for you to consume in the future. All right, so if you didn't catch the last one, I just had an interview with Braden Airy of the Idaho Horsemen, and now I'm joined by yet another rookie who found a way to win a championship in 2022, his first season of professional football. The Pittsburgh State University Gorilla graduated this past season and went on to sign with the eventual champions, the Northern Arizona Wranglers. Zech, thank you for joining me tonight. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good, and I appreciate you having me on here tonight.
Absolutely. Don't know why I said tonight. It's 8 o'clock in the morning where I'm at. I apologize. I guess I'm used to doing the interviews at night at this point. So why don't we start with a brief introduction into yourself in your own words, and then we will add details as we go.
Okay. So, as you just stated, I'm Zach. Played at Pittsburgh State University for 5 years. Then I went on to train in Georgia a little bit for my NFL Pro Day. And then I went on to play in the Hula Bowl, the 2021 Hula Bowl. And then right after that, I went. I think it was like a couple months, and then I signed to the Arizona Wranglers with the IFL. And it was a pretty long season, but we managed to pull it out and win the whole league. So like it was definitely a lot of work to do that, and I mean it's definitely an awesome feeling for sure.
No doubt. I see you sporting that Western Conference champion shirt, so definitely want to
Yeah,
always rep the fact that you guys were so great this year. It was amazing to see how the season progressed for your particular team, because I don't think necessarily anybody thought that NAZ was going to be the championship team when the season finished. And so, I would guess that most fans would have probably hung their hat on Frisco the way everything was going, and then here you
yeah.
guys are sneaking out of left field and you win it all. I love it.
I mean, hey, the element of surprise, man, it's like it's great, like because we a team that goes from winning one game our first year and then coming back our second year, completely different team, completely different coaching style, and literally take the whole league by storm. Like, and we started off pretty well. We started like to me, honestly, I think we started off exactly how we finished, but the simple fact that we only won a game, well, not we, but the team that they were last year only won one game. Like everybody wasn't expecting us to do what we did. And when we started actually winning games, we really still couldn't get the respect that we deserved because, like we just the new team on the scene, the team that won one game last year, oh, they winning like some games. Like I don't think they really like that. But like, like we a team full of rookies. It was only a few vets on the team. Like most of the team, this was our first year doing it. So I mean, hats off to all my guys, man. Like for us to put it together the way we did, like kudos to us, man, for real.
Absolutely. I mean, it was, like I said, quite of a surprising season. Let's just leave it at that. It was surprising to see it, but with the fact that you guys had such a turnaround from literal worst to first, basically, from one season to the next. I mean, talk to me about what it meant to you to be a part of that turnaround for this franchise.
Man, it meant everything because before I even went, I told all my people before I left, I was like, I'm specifically going down here to get good film and to help this team win the championship. And I did exactly both of those things. So I feel very accomplished right now, most definitely. And like it was just it was a lot of hard work, man. Like a lot of hard work, a lot of early mornings, a lot of late days, like but we all come together for one.
Absolutely. So I'm going to do something a little bit different than I've done in my previous interviews. I'm going to ask you 5 rapid fire questions, and I want you to kind of just give me your first answer that comes to mind. They're more or less multiple choice, so it should be fairly easy, I imagine. The first question is night on the town or night in the film room?
Night in the film room for sure.
Would you rather live in Texas or Pennsylvania?
Texas, of course.
All right. Favorite football player?
Right now,
You can answer
uh,
yourself too.
uh it's me.
So, most influential coach.
Um, I would have to go with my high school coach Monty Leaf for
Okay.
sure. That was my guy.
Very nice. Very nice. And hardest defensive lineman you've ever had to block.
Hardest defensive lineman I ever had to block. I have to go with my brother Justin Matabuke
Okay.
for the
Okay.
Baltimore Ravens.
I like that. I like that. That makes sense. I mean, obviously he's in the NFL, so he definitely would probably be extremely tough to block. So I'm kind of curious, what made your high school coach so influential to your career in particular?
Cause it's just like everything that he taught, like of course he taught me football, fundamentals of that, but he also taught me life lessons and like what I mean. He also like he always made that transition with football and life and football. What I mean? And like and at that time when I first got there, like because I'm originally from Arkansas, and then I moved to Texas my sophomore year of high school. So when I moved here, obviously the football was completely different in Arkansas and how serious everybody takes it. It's like on a whole nother level here in Texas, which I love. But he used to always tell us this one thing, and I remember it to this day. Like because like in football, like sometimes you're gonna mess up and stuff like that, but that's life. Life is learning, it's making mistakes, it's learning, making mistakes. You know what I mean, and correcting them and moving on. But he used to always tell us. He used to always be like, one day, one step, one play at a time. You know what I mean? Like do your job. That's all you can do. You know what I mean? So, and I applied that to more than just football. I applied that with my everyday life. I applied that with everything because there's no reason to worry about tomorrow when you need to live through today. You know what I mean? And you got to take it one step, one play, one day at a time. So, and another thing is we was always lit. Like I get a pancake, we both on the field jumping. Like we look like the D line and the D line coaches out there. Like so we always kept the energy up on the O line for sure, most definitely. But
That's a good
that's
thing. I mean,
yeah,
especially in a position like offensive line where you're literally going to battle on every play. I mean, it's literally a one-on-one matchup, and you got to beat the guy in front of you on a play-in, play-out basis. You got to have that intensity, I imagine.
definitely. Because I used to always tell people like because you know every team that you go to, the defense is always lit, right? But if you got an offense that's lit, and most of all, if your O line is lit, you got like you're gonna have a crazy offense, man, because it starts right there. It starts with the O line. It starts with the big guys up front. And if your O line lit, your whole team lit. Like
Agreed.
That's how I go about it. So I always, wherever I go, I always try to bring that energy factor into the line. You know what I'm saying? Because when you having fun and your energy flowing, it's a lot easier to do what you need to do. You know,
Agreed.
so
Agreed.
yeah,
So I'm kind of curious. Talk to me about your recruitment process coming out of high school. How did you end up at Pittsburgh State University?
man. So my recruitment process. So I came here my sophomore year. So when I first came here in Texas, like for off season, they got like a team, like a team B and a team A. Team A is obviously varsity, and team B is obviously JV. So when I came here straight from Arkansas, they really didn't know too much about me, anything like that. It really wasn't like too much film or anything on me and stuff like that. So what they did was they automatically put me on team B. So I was on team B, worked my way up to team A, and then I tore my meniscus, right? So I had to sit out like a lot of like the spring. I missed the spring, and I kind of like missed like a lot of the summer workouts and stuff like that. So I started fresh my junior year, and I starting towards the end of that season, probably like 3 to 4 games before we started playoffs, and it was kind of hard for me that season because that season I was learning the plays as we went because I didn't know the playbook yet because I was new there. So it was kind of like I was learning the plays as each game was going. So it's kind of harder for you to like learn plays like in mid season, you know. So I was doing that. Junior year was like, you know what I mean, not my best year, but my senior year was like was crazy. My senior year was outstanding. And I had like I probably had like man, I had so many teams reaching out to me. I had like probably like over 10 teams reaching out to me for sure. And then I was actually talking to quite a few D1s as well, but I didn't do so good on my ACT, which automatically wouldn't allow me to get accepted into a lot of D1 schools. So that right there kind of like took them out. So now I was left with my D2, and you know D1s also recruit a year early as well. So when I started towards the end of my junior season and stuff like that, that kind of like slowed my recruitment process down with the D1 too because I was kind of coming out of nowhere. Nobody really knew about me. And but anyways, to make a long story short, I had my D2, and out of the D2, Pittsburgh State was by far the best choice for me. And the coaches always came down and visited me. They showed a lot of love and stuff like that. So that's what landed me in Pitt State.
Absolutely. I mean, those personal relationships are very important when you're making a decision at that level. I mean, that's your future. So, I mean, these coaches showing that kind of interest in you, I could imagine would definitely sway your decision making. So, I wanted to talk about one situation in particular during your college career. You actually endured a coaching change midway through your college career. How big of a change was it from Tim Beck to Brian Wright?
It was a big change for sure because with Beck, he was a very old school guy. So we did everything old school. Like, I mean, we even had black helmets that we never wore anymore because they lost like a certain amount of games in them. So he never wanted to wear those helmets anymore. Like that's how kind of like how he did things, like superstition and like stuff like that. And then we switched over to a more new age kind of guy. Now coming from Toledo, a D1, you know what I mean? Which I loved how they ran everything. Like everything was so much like I feel like I could relate more to how Coach Brian Wright ran his football program and stuff like that. It was like practice was more fun, stuff like that. So I mean, it was pretty like it was definitely a big change. You know what I mean? Both outstanding coaches. Like I had fun with Coach Beck as well. He was one of the guys that actually got me to come to Pitt State. So you know what I mean? It was definitely good times for sure.
Definitely, definitely. So we talked about intensity and its importance that it plays with the offensive line in particular. I'm curious, is there a particular group or maybe a song in particular that you listen to before a game to get fired up?
Um, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of like I'm kind of all over the place with that because like it all depends on how I want to go into the game. That game, like if I want to go fire, like just fired up, like you know what I'm saying, like ready to hit people. You know, I'm gonna play a little bit more hip hop. I'm gonna play a little bit more. You know what I'm saying, a little bit more Mo 3 or a little bit of NBA YoungBoy or you know what I'm saying, Lil Boosie or like, you know what I'm saying, things like that that'll get me fired up. And then if I want to go in more chill, you know what I'm saying, sometimes like people might even think I'm crazy for this, but sometimes I even listen to a little R&B because it just calms me, it soothes me. Like sometimes I listen to like Lowy beats, which is like just instrumental sounds, so I can think about how what I want to think about and feel how I want to feel going into the game. You know what I'm saying? Going in there with a clear mind, like a level mind, like being level. You know, so yeah, it just depends on like how I want to go about things.
I like that. I like that answer a lot. So we got a comment real quick I wanted to highlight. Look at number 74, NAZ Champ from Angelina Smith. Um, so you play offensive line, which is by nature tasked with protecting a quarterback on an every play basis. Is this something that appeals to you off the field? I mean, are you the type of person that's going to be protecting family members, etc.?
Oh yes, if you was Zach, you good. If you was Zach, you good because I ain't letting. You know what I mean? I'm a natural protector at heart. You know what I mean? I'm just a good person, you know. So I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure you okay. Like no matter where we are, no matter what circumstance we in, no matter what environment we in, like you know, because I'm a protector first, for sure.
Definitely, definitely. So I have a feeling I know the answer to this next question, but would you prefer to pass block or to run block?
Run, run. Definitely a run style guy. Don't get me wrong, I love passing too, and that's really why I kind of uh, like that I took the IFL route because that forced me to work on my passing because that's mostly a passing league. So that's one thing that I loved about that because now my passing is pretty well. And I think it's pretty good. Obviously, like, you know what I mean? The work doesn't stop. You can always get better at anything, no matter what level that you're on. You know what I mean? Like, so I believe that. So, you know, like, yeah, I can still get better in my passing. I can still get better in my running. You know what I'm saying? But hey, if coach asks me, hey, do you want to run this or do you want to pass this? We running all day.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's kind of a given answer for offensive line. Would you rather fire off the ball or would you rather backpedal and wait for the guy to hit you? I mean, I feel
Yeah,
like everybody's going to answer run block in that particular instance, but it makes
for
perfect
sure.
sense. And I like your answer about joining the IFL that helped your pass blocking. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, it is a very pass happy league, although Caleb Barker did take off quite a bit.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. He definitely got some legs on him for sure. That's my
No
guy right
doubt.
there.
No doubt. So he was actually part of that rookie class as well, correct?
Yeah, like our whole offense. I think it was probably like one veteran on our offense. I think one or two, and I know he came like later in the season, but for the majority, our whole offense was straight rookies, first year ever doing it. You know, so
Interesting. So why don't
we
we
just had
talk
a lot
about?
of dogs.
Oh yeah, that's That's without a doubt. That's without a doubt. I mean, you don't win a championship without having that dog mentality, like you just spoke about.
Sure.
So talk to me about your transition from the outdoor game to the indoor game. I mean, how much of a transition is it from an offensive line perspective?
I mean, obviously, like you're gonna have some things that are different, but majority, I mean, it's really not a crazy difference. I mean, the only difference that I can say is really the speed of the game. The speed of the game is way faster than the IFL, and then it's like it's almost really like you're doing like a one-on-one drill most of the time because it's just three people, think, and most of the time it's solo blocks, and it puts you on the island. So, I mean, really, to me, the only difference is really the speed of the game because the speed of the game is way faster than outdoor. Because I know it's a lot more different for skilled people to make that transition because of the things that they do and like how the formations are set and stuff like that and how you can start running before the ball actually snaps and stuff like that. But for a lineman, for the most part, it's really not a major huge difference. You know what I mean? Because the trenches are the trenches. So
That makes sense. That makes sense. One of the things I wanted to talk about, you call yourself a guard, although in the indoor football game, there's only 3 offensive linemen, correct?
yeah.
So could you play tackle if a team called you for a tackle spot?
Oh yes, I was the tackle in high school when I was playing down here my senior year in Texas. You know, so I've been played against a lot of like people that's in the league right now for sure. Like, and I'm very comfortable at tackle. I'm very comfortable at guard, as you know, and I actually learned how to play center as well in the IFL. So you know, what I mean, I never got no in-game center snaps because I'm too busy protecting the right side because I start on the right side. But I'm a very solid center as well. I can really take the center spot to the next level as well. You know what I mean? So I can literally play every single position on the line. And if they need me on D line, I can play that just as well because I started off playing D line my whole football career, and then I moved over to offensive line my 10th grade year. So I'm really nice at D line, and that's a lot of things that a lot of people don't even know about. Like I remember when I played in the Hula Bowl last year, Mark Sanchez, that was our offensive coordinator. We in there watching film, and they must have let me do defense like 4 plays, and I'm over here sacking the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Tackling for loss, and he over here like in film, like who the hell is that guy right there? And then people like, that's that. And then he was like, oh shit, like, you know what I mean? So it's like, it was definitely a fun experience for sure.
That's awesome. So I'm gonna pull up that combine or pro day film. We're gonna go ahead and play that, kind of showcase your athleticism as we continue talking. So here is your pro day film. It's got a couple clips in there, so give it just a second. I'm curious, what inspires you to continue playing football in what is arguably the toughest position group to play?
Um, what inspires me to play football, I had a love for football ever since I was young. Like, I was playing football, like, since I was, like, 5 years old. Like, I was obviously playing Pee Wee, you know what I'm saying, Boys and Girls Club, all the way up to, like, you know what I mean, high school and things like that. And, like, my love has just grown for it. I've been playing football for almost 20 years now. You know what I'm saying? So, um, I just naturally had a love for it. Like that was my passion. And then just knowing the fact that I can help take care of my family while doing something I love, you know what I mean? So that definitely drives me to keep going because, the route that I've been taking, like a lot of people would stop, like I've seen a lot of people stop. But like I tell people, like the difference between a person that's successful and a person that's not successful is the successful person keeps going. They never stop. They stay down. They keep grinding. They go through every feeling. They go through every up. They go through every down, and they keep working because hard work will always be rewarded, now or later. It always will be rewarded. You can never give up, man. And that's some things that I'm teaching to my little son. I got a little son that's 2 years old. His name is Hezekiah. So that's one thing that would be instilled in him. Like, you know what I mean? For sure.
That's awesome, man. Actually, one of the reasons I do this, one of the reasons I talk to all these different players is because I got two little boys myself. And I want to show them all these videos of all these guys overcoming all the adversity that they've been faced with and still achieving their dreams of playing football. And, show them, look, these guys overcame stuff that you will hopefully never have to face in your life and still manage to make it. So, that's just proof that hard work, determination can put you where you want to be in life.
Definitely. There's no hopeless situation. There's no hopeless problem. There's only people that grow hopeless.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, one of the things that I don't really get the opportunity to talk about on here a lot that I wanted to kind of applaud you for is the fact that you were willing to go to the indoor football game. A lot of guys, they tell themselves it's league or bust. It's NFL or bust. If I don't make the NFL, I'm done with football. And a lot of guys, it'll take them 2-3 years of being a free agent before they finally determine that, hey, I need to go play and get film out there and continue to keep myself relevant and developing in order to get to the next level. And you did it right away. You immediately jumped into a contract. You continued to develop. You continued to play, continued to receive high level coaching in the indoor football league. And you continued to progress in your career, which I think is important when you're trying to make it at the higher level.
Definitely. For
What has
sure.
been, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like because I was, what I'm saying, I'm not afraid to admit it. I was one of those same guys. Like when I was in college, like somebody like would have said something about the arena league to me, I would have been like, no, I'm not playing in that arena league. You know what I mean? Like absolutely not. I'm finna do my thing in college. I'm finna go to the draft. I'm finna get signed. That's how it's gonna go, and that's how it has to go. Like, and I was just thinking that. But as you know, as we all know, what I'm saying, a lot of plans don't always go as planned. So when your plan don't go how you planned it, how will you react to that? You know what I mean? So like, how bad do you want it? That's all it boils down to. Like, how bad do you want it? Are you willing to take a route not traveled by many people? Because everybody want to take the main road. The main road got everybody on it. You feel me? You seeing everybody going down this road. Of course, you don't want to go down this road with everybody else. But are you willing to go down that dark road over there that everybody is passing on that leads to the same destination? You know what I mean? Like, how bad do you really want it? And I wanted it bad, so I knew I couldn't take the main road. I knew I had to go down that road. So I mean, hey, I'm fearless, man. I ain't scared of none, and taking a alternate route ain't gonna stop me from going where I need to go. Because at the end of the day, I'm still getting where I need to go. You know what I'm saying? So it
Agreed.
really just comes down to how bad you want it, man.
Agreed.
Because you say
Agreed.
you want it bad, but do you really want it bad if you're not willing to go to arena team to get more film or to do anything like that? Like, can you really say that you want it bad? You know? So I mean,
I
that's
love
just
it.
how I stand on it. That's how I stand on it. That's how I look at, what I'm saying, some situations and stuff like that. So,
No, that makes perfect sense. I love it. And like I said, I applaud you for that thought process because in football, if you want to make it, you have to stay relevant, period. You have to continue playing. Any year away from the game is going to basically eliminate any progress you had in the past. It's like every league is what have you done for me lately? And with you
definitely.
particularly, you graduated college and then won an IFL championship. So now you have that on your resume to show teams, look, not only did I go and try to develop further as a player, but I achieved it at the highest level. We went on to win a championship. You bring me, you're bringing on a winner. And I love that path. I love your mindset with that. I really wanted to highlight that.
Because, like, appreciate that. And, like, people got to understand, like, and with understanding, it's understanding both point of views. Because a lot of times people only want to see their point of view. But, like, if you put yourself in the point of view of a professional coach, right, that's trying to get people to come right now and help them win, would you want somebody that has been working their butt off and still been playing football, still been trying to get it any way that they can, or would you want somebody that's just been sitting at the house for 2 or 3 years? Like, of course you're gonna go with the person that has been working their butt off, still trying to do it, still out here taking different routes. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't, you know what I mean? They don't do that. They only see their way of thinking. And you know what I mean? You gotta open your mind, man, because like that's I mean, at the end of the day it's common sense. Like you gotta stay like if you really want it bad, people gonna look at you and see, okay, I see this guy working. He wants it bad. You know what I mean? So I mean it's just like that.
Agreed. So talk to me about the biggest challenge that you've ever faced during your football career.
The biggest challenge. The biggest challenge. It has to be when I let me think on that for a second. Um, I'm gonna say one of my biggest challenges. One
Okay.
of my biggest challenges was you remember earlier in the conversation I was telling you about how I tore my meniscus in high school, and the reason I wanted to do this particular one is because this is where it all started. You know what I mean? It had to start here for me to be here. I mean, it had to start there for me to be here right now. So, but when I came from Arkansas and I tore my meniscus, you know, that kind of like set me back a lot, you know, because I couldn't do the off season, and then on top of that, I couldn't do like none of the summer workouts, right? And a lot of the summer workouts and stuff like that, they was going over like the plays and things like that and stuff like that. So I missed out on all of that. And then when I had surgery, it was during spring break, so my school was closed. I couldn't do physical therapy or anything like that. And the only thing that I remember was the doctor telling me to keep my leg like elevated and iced. So me being a knucklehead, I'm over here thinking the whole week, hey, keep your leg elevated with ice, don't move it at all. So I did that for a whole week straight. I get back to school to therapy. Now I'm starting to do therapy and I can't even bend my leg because my scar tissue started to heal straight. That's why, like, normally when you go through like any type of like knee problem or anything like that, they want you to start therapy for your knee immediately after surgery because of how the tissues heal. You know what I'm saying? The tissues got to heal with like motion and stuff like that. It can't heal with you just being still because if you just been still, it's gonna heal that way. So with that being said, that right there kind of progressed uh, my recovery time probably by like 2 months, 2 or 3 months, because it took me just a month damn near to fully get the full motion in my knee back because I had to slowly break every scar tissue that then healed. And man, when I tell you about pain, that was some pain, man. Like that was like absolute pain for sure. So, you know, I do that, go through that, And then I'm getting ready for spring, right? And I'm in the gym with my cousin. I'm not playing basketball or nothing, but I'm just going in the gym to go get him from the basketball court because it's time to go. And as I'm in there, I see a ball coming. So I just like, you know what I'm saying, do a little leap, grab the ball, come down. And I must have came down wrong on my knee. So now that kind of progressed my return time from a week to like a month. So my O-line coach got so mad at me. He got so mad at me when that happened, right? So this man literally, my junior season, this man literally put me on third string JV. Third string JV. I'm like, come on, coach. Like, for real? Like, you know what I mean? Because you know, like earlier in the conversation, I said that I was on Team B, but I worked myself up to Team A, which is varsity. So like by this point, they already know I'm one of the, you know what I'm saying, stronger, more athletic big guys on the team. You know what I'm saying? They know I can bring, like, you know what I'm saying, that energy factor to like help in the area that I need to help. You know what I mean? So for him to start me on third string JV, that was just kind of like, all right, come on now. Like, but to make a long story short, I started on third string JV, worked up to second string, and then by the first game, I was first string JV. And I played like 3 games JV. They ran the ball behind me every single time, scored every single time. And it was just night and day that I shouldn't have been out there. Like I even had like parents come up to me and was like, if you continue to play JV, I'm taking my son out. Like straight up. Like, and I'm like, man, I'm like, hey, I don't want to be in JV. I'm just here trying to get moved up. That's it. Like, so, I finally get moved up. And JV run different plays than varsity. So I finally get moved up to JV, completely different playbook. We in season. I'm learning the plays as we go. So it's kind of slowing me down a little bit. But, like, especially when you got guys on each side of you that can help you every single play, it makes things a lot easier. So did that. And then I started to get the hang of the plays. And then by, I say, the 4th game from playoffs, that's when I started to start. And I got my starting role. And then I went into my junior season. I went into my after season. I went into off season. And then when I say I had a complete crazy turnaround this off season to my senior year, like I went from 330 to 295. I went from running a 5.2 40 to running a 4.9, almost a 4.8. I went from doing like a almost a 5.0 5.10 5 to doing like a 4.7 5.10 5. Like when I had my exit meeting, my coach told me he was like the he said the amount of change from the beginning of this off season till now. He said I never seen anything like it. He said he says it's really mind blowing how much you've changed just in this one off season. And he said kind of make me wish that I would have had you starting off from the 9th grade all the way to now. But he was like, man, I applaud you for that because I literally just put my head down and I went straight to work every single day. And then we had a summer program as well. I went straight to work every single day in that summer program. And then I came back my senior year, had an outstanding season, got first team all conference and everything out of nowhere. Nobody knew about me. They who is this guy right here just getting first team all conference? This man kind of coming out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So it was just that was definitely to me, that was a huge thing that I had to overcome because a lot of people could have quit in those positions. You know what I mean? A lot of people probably would have what, you started me on third string JV? Man, I'm done with football, bro. You know what I'm saying? Or the injury, right? You know what I'm saying? Like just being that close to playing football again, and then an injury stopping you, and then it's stopping you again, and keep progressing your time. Like, you know what I mean? That's discouraging, you know? And if you don't got a strong mind, like, you would have folded. But I can't afford to fold, you know? So
Agreed.
that was
I love
definitely
that.
one of my biggest things that I had to overcome in football for sure.
That's amazing. I mean, the challenges that you overcame just to get to this level, um, it's intense. I can't imagine, going through that. Like you said, a weaker man probably would have failed in those circumstances. So I wanted to talk about the coaching you received at the IFL level. I mean, you end up under two legendary coaches in the arena game with Les Moss and Rob Keefe. How much did these men aid your development during the 22 season?
Man, let me tell you, that man, Coach Moss, is absolute legend in that field, man. It's nobody like him. It's nobody like him. That man knows the ins and the outs of that game to the T, like for sure, like for sure. And Coach Rob Keefe, man, when I tell you, like, I've never met a person that has been on it as much as him. Like, when I tell you, like, this man, like, if he tell you something, if he tell you he's going to do something, this man is going to do it. Like, I remember when I first got down there, and we had to get the gym membership to the gym where we was gonna work out at. So when I get up there, because I kind of signed late, so my name on the list. So when I got up there, I told her my name and stuff like that, and she was like, "Yeah, I can't find you on the list." And I'm like, "Huh? That's kind of weird. Like, I don't know how you can't find me on the list. You know what I mean?" So boom, I get Coach Rob Keefe a call. Hey, Coach Keefe, they say they can't find me on the list. Like, what's going on? And then he say, "Hey, you stay right there. I'm gonna call them right now. We finna get this solidified right now." And and then boom, as soon as he got off the phone with me, literally, as soon as he got off the phone with me, the gym phone rung, and it was Coach Keith solidifying everything. And I was like, it was kind of funny to me because a lot of people say, you know what I mean? Hey, I'm finna do this. Hey, I'm finna do that. You know what I mean? And it kind of like some people just say things. You know what I mean? And then like say some people be like, hey, I'm finna call them right now, but like literally call them like in like the next 5 minutes or something. So like that little situation with me, like to a lot of people, they, what I'm saying, probably wouldn't even matter to them, but like it just showed me the kind of guy he was. Because this man literally told me, he was like, I'm finna call them right now and I'm finna get this solidified right now. And right when he got off the phone with me, he got it solidified right now. Like I'm talking about, and that's literally everything, like everything that he said during the season that he was gonna do, he did it like boom, boom, boom. Like that man is on it. Like I ain't never seen a coach more as detail oriented as him. Like that man is very, very, very detail oriented.
Agreed. Agreed. So we got another comment. It says Hall of Fame Coach Moss
Oh,
and Key Fence plus Zech in the O line equals champs, which obviously that's exactly what happened. So I'm going to ask you two more questions. One real quick question. Did you see that Rob Keefe is actually leaving for the Bay Area Panthers?
he's what?
He's leaving for the Bay Area Panthers.
Yeah, I did see that. I was like, whoa, that is kind of. I was like, that is crazy. But I
I
mean, Coach Keith, he's a great mind. He's a great defensive mind. So, like I knew he was gonna have a lot of opportunities. I knew all the coaches was gonna have a lot of opportunities to go different places and things like that. You know what I mean? So, I mean, hats off to Coach Keith, man, for sure. Definitely.
agree. Agreed. They're building a star-studded staff out there. in the Bay Area. They brought in Dixie Wooten, the former Tucson head coach, and then also Rob Keefe. And I'm spacing their head coach's name at the moment, but I will bring that up and add it to the comments. But yeah, it's going to be a pretty interesting staff out there. But the last question that I have for you for today is in 2022, you won a championship at the professional level. I mean, most would automatically consider this a successful season. Are you satisfied with your performance as an individual and as a team this season, or is there still room for a better season in 2023?
Oh, I'm definitely I'm very satisfied with what we've done. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm hungry for more. Like, I'm satisfied with what we did, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to go get another national championship at another level, at a higher level. You know what I mean? I'm trying to win a Super Bowl. I'm trying to, like I'm trying to do everything, and and I know what it takes to win a championship at a pro level. You know what I mean? You got to be dialed in, day out. You got to keep negativity out. You know what I mean? Like, and you got to tell people some things that they don't want to hear sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it boils down to. Because the best people in your life, the most important people in your life, like your mom, your dad, your uncle, you know what I mean? They tell you things that you might not want to hear, but you need to hear it. You know what I mean? So, and those are the people that you need around you. Those are the people that you need in your circle. You don't need people that's always going to agree with everything you say and laugh and ha ha, he. You know what I mean? You need people that's going to tell you straight up how it is. You need people that's going to tell you when you're wrong. You know what I mean? So, definitely.
Amazing. So we got a couple more comments I'm going to toss up here real quick. Good luck, Coach Keefe. We'll see you again in Prescott. Yes, you will. Unfortunately, you'll be on the other side of the field. And then nobody's going to take Zach's food. What is that? Why does everybody keep saying that on all our posts?
Because like I did an interview with the Wranglers one game, and we was just talking, and then he was just like, he was saying like, the broadcaster was asking me, what is my mentality when I'm on the field, and I was just basically stating like, you know what I mean? It's a dog eat dog world, you know what I mean? So I gotta play, you gotta play. You trying to take my food, and I'm trying to take your food, and you're not taking my food. You know what I mean? So that's basically all it comes down to. Like whoever my opponent, we're gonna be doing at it all night. Like from the first play to the end. Like it's gonna be a war, and who better to do it than me? Like you know what I'm saying? So that's basically where that comes from.
Agreed. That's amazing. You have an interesting fan base, that's for sure. I've never seen an offensive lineman have so many people that are just so supportive of him. So it's kind of interesting. You're definitely a personality, man, and I would love to keep in touch. I hope I can have you back on in the future when we announce that you hopefully have been signed by the USFL or the XFL here shortly.
Definitely. Well, I appreciate that, and yeah, I'm excited to start this new journey as well with the NFL Alumni Academy.
Agreed.
So uh, definitely a great opportunity given to me here, and I'm gonna take that opportunity and I'm gonna blow it up as big as I can. Hey, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to put on for my city, for my people, everything. Like,
Definitely.
'cause I'm actually from a small city called Crossett, Arkansas, like in Arkansas. I don't know if you probably never heard of that,
I have not,
but
actually.
yeah. But it's the same city Barry Swisher is from, Jeremy Evans is from. You know what I mean? Just some star names. Scotty Pimpin was actually our crosstown showdown, Hamburg, Arkansas. That was literally our crosstown showdown. So, you know,
That's awesome.
so,
So I'm
yeah.
kind of curious. Well, not curious, but is there anybody you want to shout out before you get out of here?
I'm saying I want to shout out my fam, my CRT family, my McKinney family. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, my mom, Zech Thomas. my uncle Robert Thomas, Hezzy Man, my little guy, Hezekiah. You know what I'm saying? His mom, Marley, I mean, I can shout out a whole bunch of people. But you know what I'm saying? I just solidified with my family here in Texas and my family back home in Arkansas because it's multiple people, man. It's multiple people and they know who they are. And I appreciate every single one of y'all, man. Whoever helped me in this process, man, because you can't do nothing alone. You know what they say, it take a village to raise somebody. So, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate everybody that been, you know what I'm saying, help me even the smallest bit. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, God God made us cross paths for a reason. And for and foremost, that's who I really want to give thanks to is the man upstairs, man, because like he made all of this possible. I'm just a vessel living through him. Like he made all of this possible for me. So I thank you, God, for giving me all the opportunities that I have been given. And I thank you for giving me the opportunities that I haven't seen with my physical eyes yet, but I know that they're there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just blessed to be here, man, for sure.
That's awesome. Well, once again, man, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate hearing your story. You trusted me to come on and tell it. And with that being said, I wish you'd been nothing but luck in the future. And like I said, I hope we see you in the NFL, the XFL, the USFL, CFL, one of those outdoor leagues this upcoming season.
I'm gonna be there real soon, man.
Definitely.
Real
I have
soon.
no doubt. I have no doubt.
Definitely.
With that being said, have a great rest of your day, man, and I will catch you in the future.
Yes, sir. You have a great rest of your day too, and thanks again for having me on
Anytime, man.
Shady
Anytime you
Sports
want to come
Network,
back.
man. Definitely appreciate that.
Absolutely. Have a great rest of your day. All right, guys, that was Zech Thomas. He is a guard, rookie guard at that, with the NAZ Wranglers, who just won the IFL championship this past season. It was a hell of a season. If you did not catch the games, they are still up on YouTube. You can still watch all of them, as well as you can catch his highlights on Huddle. Look up Zech Thomas on Huddle. You'll see all of his films. With that being said, there's a couple more comments. Good luck, Zech. Looking forward to seeing you play outside. Keep up the hard work and wishing you the best. And heart, number 74. With that being said, I'm going to call it a day. I will catch you guys in the NFL broadcast we have coming at you later on today. That will be 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 9 p.m. Eastern. We are covering the NFC East. So if you're a fan of the Eagles, like the gear behind me, the Washington Commanders, the Dallas Cowboys, or the New York Giants, you definitely want to catch that. If you've got a fantasy football team with any of those players on your roster, you definitely don't want to miss it either. We're giving out free fantasy football advice. I'll help you win your league. Tune in tonight.